Hi, this is Hart, and this is now officially at the very beginning of our third year as a foundation. But given that we've had some Hartists who are approved quite a while ago, and so any Hartist, this video applies to any Hartist who's been a member as a Hartist for more than 6 months. So we're just going to blanket do this for everyone. Anyone who's been a Hartist for more than 6 months. Once a year, we're going to do a refresh. It'll probably go out in February, and we'll expect a receipt by tax day. And so we request that you postmark, and I do have that here. Oh, that's hard to read. We request that you postmark it by April 2nd. So make sure you get the response back in the mail by April 2nd and received no later than April 15th. I'm about to print all these out for all of you. So, it does say, Dear Hartist, beginning this year, each Hartist approved more than 6 months ago needs to reapply. We are now a foundation celebrating our second anniversary, and we've discussed many reasons some may no longer qualify. They've moved, they're financially better off, they no longer want supplies, etc. There could be all kinds of reasons. So also, if you were approved in our first year, the application actually has more questions now. To continue to qualify to receive the packages from Defy, pronounced Defy, similar to DeFi, like defying the odds. To continue receiving your monthly packages, you need to mail or email the following 3 things. Completed application, you can write it or you can type it, and this will go in the mail to you. A copy of your identification with your picture on it, and proof of financial need. Your proof that you're near or below the poverty level can be as simple as a copy of your EBT card with your name, 2019 tax return, an SSI statement, or other governmentally accepted forms of proof. So we have also included a questionnaire that is not mandatory, but it'll help us do a better job of making your packages a little more customized to you. So please complete and include the questionnaire when you mail your updated application. As we grow, we don't want to lose that personal touch with you. Sincerely yours, Hart, Chairman of the Board. And I give you my email address because if you fill it out and take a picture and mail it back to us, that's fine too. Or if you snail mail it back to us, that's fine too. So. The next part is the application. For some of you, you may have already seen it in this format. I did take out the line about photography. The rest is the same because I took out the line that says since we're brand new, just so everyone knows what's different recently, is I took out the line that says since we're brand new, non-profit, blah, 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 blah. It ends in photography. So, but the rest is the same as what people have seen for almost about 10 months now. If you applied more than 10 months ago, it does have a few more questions. This is brand new. No one's seen this yet except for my right-hand person or my right-hand people. This helps us make your monthly package a little more customized. So starting in 2020, we are going to start sending this whenever we send an application to folks because it helps us be able to package your shipments. Now, this is a large month when we package large things in there. But generally, the bags are about 10 inches by 13 inches that we mail monthly. Sometimes they'll be 14 by 16, depends on what's included. We try to average the value at $37 a month, knowing that some months will be significantly more in value and other months it's significantly in less. What kind of major craft supplies do you use? You put a letter U there. Do you have? You put an H there. Do you want? You put a W there, and an X you don't want. So for instance, some people, I'm just going to use this tool because it's easy and small. So some people may have tweezers, but they don't really use them. So that's when you would put have, right? Some people may want tweezers and they don't have them. So then you want to put it on there. And if you don't want the item at all, some people may not want an eyelet setter. So if there are things that you don't want, put an X there. And if you use it all the time, that's useful for me to know too. That's why I have the letter U there for you. And so if you use it all the time, then that helps me know, oh, okay, so they use their sewing machine a lot. A lot means a few times a year to me. You don't have to use it every day for me to consider it a lot. So circle all the things that you use. So, oh, I'm sorry, let me read this to you. So it's an eyelet setter, a craft mat, a scoreboard, a paper trimmer, a sewing machine, and a printer. If you have other big items, big ticket items, then please let me know what those big ticket items are in the blank area around there. So what are some of the other things that you use online? So in some people, because I'll have this sorted for everyone, so just circle all the things that you use. Do you use Facebook Messenger? Do you use email? Do you use YouTube? Do you use, oh my gosh, I wrote email twice. Who cares? Do you use snail mail, right? So that is how this goes. And then painting, do you use brushes? Do you prefer acrylic, oil, or watercolor? Do you use a variety? And there's a little bit of room to write there. Do you use an easel? This is the same kind of thing where you can do the UHWX, that kind of thing over here. So wherever you see the blank lines, feel free to use the UHWX or write whatever you feel like you need to. If you want to write messages, it's okay to use the blank space. It helps us get to know you. How did you hear of us? Right? Did you hear about us from Facebook, from YouTube, from a friend, or is there some other way that you heard about us? Because I do need to start tracking how Hartists found out about us. Do you have a die cut machine? If you do, what kind of die cut machine do you have? Because that actually does matter. We occasionally get dies that get donated. We have some on the way, actually. Do you have a computer? If you have a computer, does it have a CD player? And so this helps me know whether or not I can send you CDs with digital images on them. And lastly, on the front side of this, what kinds of jewelry tools do you have? Pliers, round, flat, wire cutters, crimpers. Are there other tools you have or want? Write that in this area. Okay. And by the way, the graphics over here came from Hartists. So this is something one of the Hartists made, boho beads. This is a painting one of the Hartists made. And then this is a bracelet one of them made. So when you flip to the back side of this page, let's talk about favorites. So this gives us a better sense of who you are. If I have a pile of washi tape, like this. So if I have a pile of washi tape, and this washi tape I'm about to sort out to Hartists. Well, if I'm glancing at everyone's piece of paper like this when I'm packing my kits, knowing what color you like will help. Knowing what style you like will help. So knowing what pattern or things to create or stuff like that, these are your favorites, which will help me decide, if somebody says, I love pink, I'm more likely to put this in their package than this. Although this probably I would put in there too. There we go. So if somebody says to me that they like spooky patterns, that's cool. If somebody says, so you can be as descriptive as you want in this section here, and feel free to use the blank space to describe yourself and give us a sense of who you are. So just like on the application over here, I say, what are your crafting categories? These are the same 3 categories that you're used to seeing all the time. So paper, painting, and jewelry crafting. You can check off more than those 3. I mean, you can check off all of those 3. I do ask over here if you have a sewing machine, and that means that if you're interested, occasionally we do get fabric that comes in, so feel free to handwrite that in. That's perfectly fine. We do know someone loves Legos, so there's one person like that. One-offs to add into this section is great, but generally I need to know for sure at least one of these that you have checked off. So besides kits, what types of supplies interest you? This is the other piece that will really help me when I'm filling out packages, because this is how I organize the supplies when they come in. So cards, jewelry, broken or beads, paper, acrylic paint, watercolor paint, stickers, adhesives, glue, etc., fabric, mixed media textures, stencils, books, booksmithing supplies, maps, stamps, dies, napkins, duct tape, washi tape, punches, jewelry findings, canvas, office supplies, and other, and I gave you lots of space to write other things that help us pack your packages. So these are the kinds of things that will really help me when I'm grabbing the supplies. So, and then down at the bottom here, I've given you extra space. And again, this art is from our Hartists. So add anything else you want us to know about you, including other crafts not in our categories or limitations you might have. We have one person who can only craft with one arm. We have other folks who have other limitations like no X-Acto knife, that kind of stuff. Because this is, personally, when I pack packages, this is what I'm going to be using from now on when I'm packing packages. Jean will do a better job with the wishes, and I will do a better job with general because I need more time to manage the organization. So we can talk about that change later, but that's where that massively changed for us. We do have 4 other Hartists who have been adopted permanently by 2 different volunteers, which is fabulous. I kind of want to call them my Azure Angels. That's the number that's been the word that's been coming up in my head all day. So maybe even share on this section what your project list is that you're accomplishing in 2020, even if it's like my project list that we don't always get to them all. But it helps me select those things that make a difference for you in more general terms. Try to keep it general. So I'm working on an ocean junk journal. I'm working on a card set for giving cards to folks. I like doing holiday cards, or maybe you're working on creating storage boxes. These kinds of things will help me know what kinds of projects you're working on. And then it's just a simple thank you at the bottom for helping by completing that questionnaire. So now you'll see that you're only going to get these 3 pages in the mail, and it'll be the same for all Hartists that have received an application within the last 6 months. I'm sorry, beyond 6 months ago. So anyone who's been approved beyond 6 months ago. And for all the people who have been approved within the last 6 months, I will send them this Hartist questionnaire. So, but I'll send it in digital form, since all the people who have been approved in the last 6 months, all of those people have updated enough information for us. So that's perfectly fine. They've used the latest application. I have a copy of their ID. I know their date of birth. All of these people, I do have that updated info. But know that if you've been approved in the last 6 months, coming February of next year, we'll send this application out again. But if it's the last 6 months, we'll still send you the questionnaire because it will help me pack your packages more specifically to you. Your wish code. If you ask me, what is my wish code? I have no idea what that is. That's not a problem. It's really quick and easy for me to send you your wish code. Or you can ask Jean Peter what your wish code is. We both know what those are. If you just send us a note, she knows who all of the Hartists are. I know who all the Hartists are. And we both have the wish code list. So love and hugs, everyone. Thank you so much for making this easy. And if you have any questions at all, please send me a note. Take care. Bye-bye.